Hi Cancers, welcome to your April 2018 monthly readings. You'll have to excuse my voice. It's been a while since I've done these, so I'm losing my voice. Plus I went to a hockey game on the weekend, so my voice is crackling a little bit. Alright you guys, so I'm going to be doing the no show and grow readings. I feel like they're highly valuable. Camera might be shaking a bit too. It's just the way I got it set up. It's the best I can do right now. I'll figure it out hopefully by next month. So we're gonna use two different decks, actually three, because I have these Shaman Oracle cards. I'll read them from the book though. So your first card we got is I am open, I am positive, I am you. And the tarot cards you guys got were the Star card, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Swords. It's not that bad, you guys. The Ten of Swords. All right, you're at some sort of completion here. And the Ten of Wands. I might pull out a few extra cards just because the last three cards I pulled were quite intense for you guys. But we'll find out what's happening. And I'm pre-pulling them out off camera because I have to test to see if the video is going to actually record. Because it's Mercury retrograde and I've done like 4 or 5 videos where all the way through, so over 30 minutes long, and they didn't save them. So it's a lot of energy and time wasted. Okay, you guys. I'm trying to prevent that. All right, so what you need to know, you got the I am open, you have the Star card, and then you have this Three of Swords. So this can go a couple of ways. One, some of you are not open because of past hurts, okay? Three of Swords doesn't have to mean a betrayal. It doesn't have to mean a three-party relationship. It just means separation. You're separated from somebody you care about, or you're separated from people you care about, or for some of you, it is like a past love. You're still stuck on them, and you need to let it go to move forward. Okay, so with the I am open, the Star card, and the Three of Swords, it's saying don't lose your hope. Okay, and whatever has happened in the past that was bad or negative, that you portray as bad or negative, okay, it's part of your journey with the Star card. It's like fated and destined for certain things to play out, okay? But it's to get you to your Nine of Cups, okay? But here's the thing, you have to release and walk away from something that's no longer serving you. The time of Aquarius can be an importance to you, but what I'm feeling and what I'm getting is in order for you to be open, you may have to take a more detached approach. So what I mean by that, it's like not using your feelings, but using your logic to evaluate things. So whatever this Three of Swords is for you guys, you want to use your logic to reevaluate it. Okay, so what did you learn from it? What did you gain from it? Okay, what's the wisdom? Okay, and the wisdom is going to be the experience that you gained from the situation. Okay, for some of you, you're separated from somebody you love. It is saying you eventually will come together. However, somebody's going to have to let something go. It could be like where they live. You're going to have to change your destination. For others of you, you might be in a job. Not all of you. If it doesn't apply to you, don't take it, okay? But for some of you, you're in a job that's holding you back. And it's going to sadden you to leave the job, but you have to leave it in order to move and progress forward. You have to leave something behind that's no longer serving you or working for you, okay? You're going to have to separate yourself. And this is probably why being more logical is coming into effect here, or it's coming through. Because you're going to have to see what's best for you is best for the people around you. You do have to take care of yourself, right? Like, what you need to show is I am positive. You have the 9 of Cups, and then you have the 10 of Swords. Okay, so I'm hearing the words, let's go. I'm hearing it over and over again. Let's go. Like, let's go. I'm not sure what it's implying to. It could be like, let go, because you have the eight of Cups, but I'm hearing let's go. Like, time to get moving, time to go, like, you have to let the past go, though, to move forward, all right? I'm also hearing, for some of you Cancers with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Swords, there's like an overindulgence that you have to let go in order to move forward, all right? So it's like if you drink a lot, it could be gossiping. If you do negative self-talk, that's going to hold you back. You need to let that go, okay? For a lot of you guys, your mindset's really important. You have to, with the I am positive, I am open, you have to be optimistic, okay? Your wishes can come true. However, with the 10 of Wands here, there's action that needs to be taken, okay? When I see the 10 of Wands, I don't see it as outside sources causing you this grief or the burdens, excuse me, you guys, okay? I see it as self, all right? The self is the blockage. So for all of you, that's going to be different, right? Like if you're telling yourself, I can't find another job. I mean, we all know that's not true, right? Like, or if I can't heal my relationship. Well, that's not true. If you think like that, then sure, okay, because there's no actions being taken. So, how do you get a better relationship? Well, one, you talk about the things that you don't want to talk about. Yes, there'll be arguments and people will feel hurt, okay? But however, you will end up releasing, this is a release card, your burdens, what's blocking you, in order to start a more positive, hopeful change, okay? There's no easy way around things, like you can go to a counselor. There's things you can do, right? If you're not taking any actions, then, I mean, you can't be pointing the finger at anybody except yourself. You got to look inward, right? Like I told the earth signs, there's an old African proverb that states that, when you face the enemy within, the enemy with that outside of you can do no harm, right? That took a bit to get out. You guys should see me I haven't done these in like 3-4 months, I think. So I'm a little gun shy, shall we say. I'm so serious in the first readings that I did. Oh, man. I'm like a deer in headlights, like I have that Virgo, so I'm quite shy. Your wish will come true. However, you got to take the action on it. You want new love. Okay, well, that can happen, but you have to let go of the old love. Stop holding on to it. All right? People come into our lives to teach us a little more of what we want and what we don't want. Okay, we learn a little more about ourselves, what we value in ourselves, what we value in others. Okay, our needs and our wants. Okay, and sometimes your wants are not what you need. Okay, the universe will supply you with what you need, not what you want. They're two separate things, right? But what you need to show is your positivity. Okay, you do need to go out and have a little fun. Okay, the warning with the 9 of Cups is it's like gluttony. All right. Gluttony can be like your worst enemy. Okay. So that's like overindulging. It's like you could have a person around you that thinks that they're the best thing. That's gluttony. Like they're going to have a reality check. Okay. You need to, what you want, you have to go out and get. All right. I just keep hearing, let's go. I have no idea what that means. That means you got to be motivated. You got to keep going. I am positive means that when you're told no, you keep searching for that yes, right? You go out there, you get up, like if you're trying to start a business or trying to find a job, you've been rejected like 12 times, that's okay. All right? Like you're going to get what you need, not what you want. You're going after what you want. Now, what is it job-wise that you need? All right? Like maybe you need more money. So maybe you're going after jobs that are below what you're actually worth. You're not seeing your value, right? So once you go after that more high-paying job, and you got to be honest, all right? Because the Ten of Swords could be lies, betrayal, right? With the Ten of Wands, Three of Swords. So it's like you just got to be honest with the person. You just got to be like, when you go for the interview, like I'm willing to learn, like I'm eager to learn, like just because you don't have all the qualifications, you could have half of them, right? But the person could see potential in you, right? But if you don't see the potential in yourself, then they're not going to see the potential in you. And those 12 jobs that you applied for and you got rejected for are giving you interviewing skills, like also might mean that some of you guys might have to, with Aquarius, it's unorthodox, right? Aquarius is unorthodox. They're the unexpected too. They're good though. The thing with Aquarius is they're co-ruled by Saturn. I can't speak today, you guys. I take a sip of coffee. And being co-ruled, oh my goodness, by Saturn means they know the rules. They obey them. They abide by them. Okay? So you can't break them. With the Three of Swords, you can't break them. You can go around them, but you can't break them. All right? When you break them, then you're going to be causing harm to yourself. With Aquarius here too, and the Three Swords, it means you got to be truthful with yourself. All right? Some of you guys, though, if you're looking for a job, or you might want to go outside of your comfort zone for like, even when you're going out and having fun, going to do things with I Am Positive, that's like, if you're going hiking and stuff, travel a little bit of a distance outside your neighborhood to go do these things. Like, if you're going to meet up with your friends, try to pick a place that you guys have never been to, that possibly you've heard about or you've seen good reviews about, that are outside of your comfort zone or outside of your area, because you can find what you're looking for outside of that area. Like maybe you'll find like, oh, this is, where I want to move, or you could find a job that's outside your area and eventually move there. Like you got to separate yourself from something though. You got to let old feelings go and regain the hope back. You have to show that you're positive. You have to show that, wishes can come true. And you have to let go of all of this negative self-talk with the Ten of Swords, past betrayals, whatever it is. You got to let it go. All right? Because I keep hearing, let's go. So it's like, enough is enough. Let's keep moving here. Let's keep going. Looking back ain't helping you. Look forward. Be positive. Shoot for the stars. Takes time to get there. Okay? And a star doesn't shine because it's like every other, it shines because it's an individual and it's on its own. It's sitting on its own. All right? You know what I mean? Okay? What you need to grow is I am you. You have the Eight of Cups. And you have the Ten of Wands. So this means I mean, that's a odd card, right? I am you. There's a lot of blue in that. And it goes quite well with the Eight of Cups. So the I am you, and this is what you need to grow, is you need to realize that everybody has burdens. Everybody has obstacles, okay? Everybody's going through hurt and pain and suffering just like you, like, but with the Nine of Cups and the Star card, it's like everybody's dealt with some sort of loss, okay? And they've dealt with the fact that they don't have their hope and has been put to the limits, has been tested, okay? But it's almost like you guys, miracles exist, all right? And they're not the way that people expect them to be. They think that it's like, I'm going to win the lottery. That's a massive miracle. It's a miracle I won the lottery, right? It's a big burden when people win the lottery, and quite often they can't keep the funds. Miracles come in small, subtle ways, okay? And people witness these miracles every day, all right? Whether or not, when I was a kid, my mom had cancer when I was about 11 years old, all right? And that was in the early 90s. So it was a miracle she survived, all right? Like a miracle, because the treatments weren't as good back then. What she was diagnosed with, she was said for it to be quite severe, and she ended up surviving it, right? Like that's a miracle, okay? Miracles getting into a car accident and, you walk out of it. That's a miracle, all right? It could have been a lot worse, all right? Fate was on your side. Like you were protected, okay? People lose their homes all the time, and it's a miracle that they can get back up on their feet and move forward, Like if you're looking back, you need to look back at the things that you've overcome and how far you have gotten, all right? But let go of what no longer is serving you. It's holding you back. With the Ten of Wands here, the Ten of Wands is self-induced burdens. It's like, this is like, the energy here is like, how can I put it, like, into words? It's like when you're pointing your finger at somebody, right? We've all been here. I'm you, right? Everybody's been here. I've been there. Your neighbor's been there. Your mother, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, your best friend, all been there. They point the finger at somebody saying, oh, it's your fault, right? Part of denial, right? But there's liability in the self, allowing the situation to happen, allowing the decision and choice to play out that you made. Okay? We've all pointed the finger at other people, but with the Ten of Wands, okay, this is saying accountability needs to come into effect. Nothing is going to change just because you want it to. It's going to change when you take the actions, when you start changing your mindset, when you make that decision and take the action to go out there and look for a new job, when you take that action to go and get counseling or healing, when you take that action to forgive that person that harmed you or have that uncomfortable conversation with that person, when you make the changes necessary in whatever manner that is, going out there and seeking the information, government help, with the Nine of Cups and gluttony, that's like when somebody thinks they're too good, it could be you, somebody around you, right? We've all gone through this. It can be hard to ask for help, right? Like when you think you're too good to go and get government assistance, all right? Nobody wants to go and get government assistance, at least nobody that believes in earning their own dollar, but sometimes you need help, all right? I've been there, like when I was younger, I think it was about 25, I had all of my ribs broken. I had a steel bar put in it, quite painful, all right? And I was told, I think they gave me about a year and a couple months before I could go back to work because the surgery is so severe, right? Like they collapse the lungs, push the heart out of the way. You can't breathe, you can't laugh. It's quite painful, all right? With the Star card and the Nine of Cups, okay? And again, a miracle. In 6 months, I was back to work, all right? But in that 6-month time frame when I was off, and that was it didn't just happen. That I went back to work after, I think actually it was 7 months, that I went back to work. And half the time that they said, okay, I went to the gym every day. I worked out like sometimes 3 times a day. I worked through the pain, fought the tears. It was blood, sweat, and tears I put in there. All right. Like, but it was a burden, but I put action oriented. I put the work in necessary to get back on my feet. Okay, brutal. It was like one of the worst things I ever went through. Okay, and the doctors were all like, "Well, that's a kind of like a miracle, I guess you could say, that we haven't had anybody that's been able to go back to work so quickly." Like, but again, didn't just happen. I did the work, but in that time frame, I had to ask for help, financial wise. Okay, through the government, because I didn't have anybody to turn to. You know what I mean? And I had to make cuts and sacrifices. All right, I had to downgrade where I lived. I ended up moving. That was actually a horrible time. I had people that lived with me that just picked up and left. Like all hell was breaking loose. Like and like I got through it. I didn't think in the moment I was like this. Like this is literally how I felt in the moment. But I got through it. I don't wish that upon anybody. Like. And how I got through that was I didn't look at the long term. Okay, I looked through the short term, the here and the now, the present. What can I do now to make it happen? Like, and sometimes thinking about things, this is like you're overthinking things. Okay, I couldn't sit there and think about things anymore. I had to take the actions of the burdens, and the only way I knew how was the here and now. What can I do right now? Okay, and I can go for what would have, prior to the surgery when I had it, would have taken me 5 minutes to go for a walk. When I had the surgery, that 5-minute walk would take me literally 45 minutes, you guys. I couldn't even get out of my driveway when I was walking. Like, but I pushed. You got to push through it. Nobody was there to hold my hand or tell me to do it. I did it on my own. You know what I mean? I took the actions. Okay? So I could have pointed the finger and blamed, life, society, God for what happened, but instead I took accountability and pushed through it. All right? I am you means everybody goes through something. I am you, you are me. Okay, we all go through things. Okay, and people are more understanding than you actually think. Okay, and unfortunately in life, you got to come to the term and the realization that nobody's going to save you except you. Some of us in society might be a little more lucky. They might have people that are around them that can help them. But majority of the time, it's all you taking the actions to get rid of those burdens. All right. You want to see improvement, you have to put the blood, sweat, and tears into it. You have to separate yourself from what no longer serves you. You have to do the uncomfortable things. You have to do the painful things. You have to have the uncomfortable conversations. You have to have the uncomfortable conversation with yourself. Put your ego and your pride aside and know that you're worth more. Okay? Like, if you need help, you need to ask for help. Okay, the government has so many things available to the public to help you. There's so many trades out there or positions, shall we say, that need filling now, because there's a major gap from like my generation when we were growing up. I was born in '84, so we were all pushed into computers, right? I didn't go to computers. I'm not all that tech savvy. And I do have strong Aquarius in me, and they say Aquarians are good with technology. Not so much. We were all pushed into that category. So there's all these industries that have this gap of not having any employees to fill the positions because everybody's in technology. So the government supply you with courses where they'll even pay you to go to the course. All right, there's entrepreneur programs. Okay, whatever information you don't have, and you do need information here, you need to gather. Okay, you need to take a risk on yourself. You have to watch for injuries though. Okay, because don't overexert yourself. If you know something's beyond your limits, physically, I don't want to say that because like you shouldn't put limits on yourself. All right, and now I'm hearing that. What is that song? Too Unlimited, No Limits. All right, but okay. What I mean by that is like when you have like when I was injured, okay, I could do like prior to the surgery, I could lift quite a bit in a gym. All right. However, know your limit. Okay, because if you've had an injury, you know that you can't even do a third or quarter or an eighth of what you used to be able to do. You have to do small baby steps. Okay, you got to start slow. All right, like I had to lift like 2 pounds, right, which was nothing. But you know, when you have all your ribs broken, it feels like a freaking truck sitting on your chest. Okay, the next week you lift 3 pounds. Okay, and then the next week you or 2 weeks, okay, you lift 4 pounds. Okay, like be patient with yourself. It's because if you go above your limits in an injury sense, you're going to cause more problems. Okay, but just know, like you have to push through the pain. Okay, whether it's physical, mental, you know, you have to push through your pain, your limits. Okay, and you'll actually be amazed. At how strong you are as an individual and as a human, how much you can actually withstand and forego. Honestly, like, you know, you're going to amaze yourself when you push yourself past your limits, okay? But just know everybody struggles like you, all right? Everybody goes through pain like you do, all right? Unless you're a narcissist or a psychopath, all right? The only pain that they feel is when their ego gets bruised. And that's because of the image that they want to portray to society. All right, I'm going to pull a few extra cards. You're more like, you may be pushed to your limit, what you think is your limit, but you're going to surpass it. And you're going to realize that you're stronger than what you actually thought. Okay? And there are times in life where you're going to be tested, mind, body, and soul. At different phases in your life, your mind's going to be tested, your soul is going to be tested, and your body's going to be tested. All right? And it will be pushed to its limits. Don't sacrifice who you are, though. Like, and when I say that, I mean your morals and your values. Don't sacrifice that for others. You have the Page of Swords, and it, you know, that could be the spy card. If you're spying on somebody, let it go. It's not serving you any. A person's cheated on you. You're better than that, okay? But that's also information. You want to start a business, then you go and get the information. There's people that will support you. Entrepreneurs, programs in the government. You have the Queen of Wands. Again, we talked about this. Action. You need action. All right. This isn't, I mean, it could be an outside source, but in this reading, I like to focus on you as an individual. So it's the energy that you need to take on. Okay. Because this came out in the what you need to show over the 10 of Swords, and it's action. You got places to go, people to meet, and things to do. All right. This is a woman that doesn't wait for anybody else. She's self-motivated, even on the days that she doesn't want to be. All right. She knows that nobody's going to get it done for her. She's got to do it herself. Okay. It's also about motivation because she is pretty motivated. It's the woman, when you have an idea, she will feed your idea. All right. She's pretty positive. She's upright. She's positive. So if you have an idea, she's not going to shoot it down. She's going to try to help you grow it. Okay. But it's action. You taking the action. It's the energy that you need to take on, male or female. Okay. And she doesn't give two hoots what other people think or say about her. All right. She considers it, right? Because you got to evaluate yourself, right? If somebody's trying to save you from harm, you want to evaluate that. But if somebody's just scared because you're doing something that they would never do and their mind is blocking them, right? Fear is an illusion. Okay? Fear comes into place to protect us from what is foreign to us. Okay, they don't know, the mind doesn't know any better. That's foreign. Foreign means it can be dangerous. Okay, like it's like danger. Don't do that. You know, you could get hurt. Yes, you could get hurt, but you're going to get back up and move forward. Okay, and there's that saying. Well, I don't want to use that saying because I'm not a fan of it, but with no risk, there's no glory. You don't do things for glory, all right? Glory means that you want people to approve you or to be like, yeah, way to go, you're the best, you know? I mean, you shouldn't need other people to feed your ego or your pride. That comes from yourself, right? Your value in yourself, right? This is a woman, she doesn't need people to approve who she is as an individual. She's just going to move forward and do it whether people like it or not, right? Because it's her life, not theirs, right? So remember that. Where it's your life, not anybody else's. Take the actions that are necessary, okay? She will go, and you got to be courageous and brave sometimes, all right? You got to sit down and have those conversations with yourself about what's blocking you and what needs to be done, all right? Don't let your ego and pride get in the way. So it's like if you have a family member, you know, that you haven't been getting along with, let your ego and pride go aside. Forgive them. They're human, just like you're human. You've made mistakes in your life, and they're going to make mistakes in their life. Oh, you got the spirit of family. These cards are a little different because they're pictures of caves all around the world. So they're just images of the cave, right? So you got goats here. I think they're a goat. See the image on there? I think it's a goat. So for you guys, I'm actually going to say, do your homework. For each of you, it's different, and you'll find what you need. I could give you the meaning, but it's going to be different for all of you. And I feel like it needs to be homework for you, that you go and you look up the spiritual meaning of a goat. You'll find which one resonates with you, and it's going to be, if you believe in spirit, your angel, God, universe, whatever you believe in is going to make it known to you what you need to. When you look up the meaning of that goat, it's a mountain goat, I think. Okay, because I'm seeing the mountain goat, and the thing with the mountain goat is they're very stealth and they're patient, and they, like, if you've seen them on the mountain, they sit on the cliff, right? And it's like all four legs could be like in like that, right? Like on a very sharp edge that you wouldn't think it could stand on, and it's quite patient and it's calculating, and it stands there for hours at a time, and then suddenly it just jumps onto another cliff where you're like, whoa, man, like how did that, like, it doesn't even look like it can jump that far or land that, and it did. It calculated, right? It took a risk though too, where, okay, so I'm going to look it up in the book. I'm going to push pause for a second. Okay. So it says, I am the spirit of family. I hold the heart of the family group in my hands, sheltering it and protecting it from harm, and helping to bind together the elements it compromises. Man. On every side, I see revelations, both human and animal, that together form part of a greater whole. I reach, oh, well, here, you have a whole circle. I don't know why I pointed that out. Completely useless? I don't know. Okay. It says, I see revelations, both human and animal, that together form part of a greater whole. I reach out to your spiritual kin, to both ancestors and guardians, offering support in times of trouble and resolution in times of conflict. Okay. It says the concept of family was essential to our distant ancestors, whose first loyalties are to the survival of the family unit. The tribe itself was held together by an intricate network of bonds, including those with the ancestor deed. However, their idea of kinship went beyond the human, that makes no sense, beyond the human, and then it says the, but it's a hyphen on whatever. The human, the creatures with whom our forebears shared their world were equally significant and were seen as part of the tribe. The spirit of family awakens us to a whole spiritual community of the shaman, both human and animal, and reminds us of the vital role played by kinship. Okay, and the card means resolution in time of conflict, seeking the support of family members, relatives lost and found, sense of community, importance of the spiritual family. If you ask for guidance, it will be given. You will be given signs and symbols. All right, you just got to pay attention to them. I do feel like you need to look up the goat, though. Or whatever image you see. Whatever animal you see in that, look it up. You'll find what you need. All right, you guys. Namaste. I will talk to you next month, and ciao for now.